So when it gets to this point, fight week and early, what are the feeling? Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Like, how are you feeling now?
Mate, it's just like hurry up. That's how I feel now. It's just like I wish it was tomorrow. I wish it was now. You get to that point of training camp where you're feeling, tired and you've put a lot of work in. You've busted yourself throughout training camp, and you know you just want it to be finished. And we're still got a week to go, so still a bit of time to wait. But all the hard work's been done, which is a good thing. Today was the last kind of hard big session I'd done, and I felt good. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and obviously a big change that's been made is obviously training with Grant Smith now and Steel City Gym. Like, can you touch on maybe why that change and obviously what sort of things have been different in your time with them so far?
I don't think it was a big change. It was just a kind of time to re map everything out and replan everything. And my last camp I was in Miami with Pedro Diaz. He was a fantastic coach, but just not enough time together, I suppose, before a fight. We had 6 weeks of actual preparation together, which wasn't enough in my eyes. But that's just the way things happen, and you make decisions and take opportunities when they come. And if you haven't bonded enough and had enough time with a coach, it's very hard to kind of click on when it comes to fighting, especially when you haven't done it before with that coach. So I've been over here in Sheffield since the end of September, start of October, training with Grant, working alongside him, listening to him, finding out how it works when we're in the ring together and stuff like that. And it's been great. It's a great gym. You know, Grant's probably not going to. He's not changing me as a coach, as a fighter. But what he is doing is tweaking the mistakes which I make, and that's something I was really happy with, and that was why my decision to go with him was the decision.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, like I said, it's over a year now. Why now for the return? What is the timing? Obviously, a year on from the Jordan Gill, obviously close to feet. Like, why now?
I was debating whether or not to continue boxing. I've earned a lot of money in boxing. I've done really well in boxing. I've achieved an awful lot in my career, but I haven't reached the goal which I believe I still can reach, which is world champion. And I know this will be my last kind of run towards the world title. The next defeat I would call it a day, because it is very hard. When you're in there, boxing's no game. It's a sport where you're getting in there to put hands on another guy and hurt him. So yeah, listen, I think it was just time. I took time off and realized that the dream is still there. I'm still young enough to reach that goal. I don't want to leave it any longer. And I had a year off from boxing, complete year. And then when I got back into the gym, I found my love again. That was great.
Yeah, and obviously you spoke about obviously considering maybe that retirement beforehand, and obviously now you are back for this last run. Obviously, you can't plan ahead with the fight in 7 days' time, but is there almost a roadmap in your mind of maybe how many fights to get to that World Championship and that shot again? How are you viewing this last run?
Yeah, listen, there's a map. We've mapped things out and planned things out already. Um, so I'm looking forward to it, but my eyes are solely focused on one guy, which is Asif Khan, and he's a tough competitor. He's had 19 wins, I think five or three losses or five losses, one or two. He's been with like the Kanzu and stuff, so it's I would probably been forgiven if I came back against somebody with a losing record, but I've never been in the ring with someone with a losing record. I want someone to come and try to win. So yeah, I'm excited, mate. I think the map which you've mapped out is good, but I can't take my eyes off what's ahead of me.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can you kind of talk about your opponent in Khan? Like, what do you expect to show? Like I said, obviously he has a very good record for a comeback after a year out of the ring. Like, what are you expecting in 7 days' time?
A game guy thinking he can come and take me out and kind of push off my back, I suppose.
Mm.
Um, he's quite cocky at times and stuff like that, and quite unorthodox and dangerous of his head. So I've just got to be smart in there and get the job done.
Yeah, definitely. Now, obviously, you have fought for top rank for a lot of your career now. Why Wasserman Boxing and why the change obviously it got recently announced? What is this change for?
I just think it's the right move at this stage of my career. If you look at the likes of George Groves and stuff, he done on his third attempt, and he done it with the guys at the Sorlin brothers here at Wasserman, and I think it was just the right move for me. Something I'm really excited about, something I'm looking forward to, and the whole team and all. I'm friendly enough with him. I've known Colin this a long time, and we spoke in this. I think it was December, and ended up coming to an agreement. So it was very good. I'm happy.
Yeah. Now, like, obviously, you did miss out on the world title shot. Like, is there almost something different in your mind now, a different approach maybe? Like, what is the aim almost on how you're going to make this a reality now?
Just the work I put in. I know I have the ability. I know I have all the skill,
Mm.
but I suppose I'm probably getting with no pressure now. I'd say a lot of people probably don't expect me to do anything, but that's a good thing. I've had the weight of a nation on me for a long time. I enjoy it, but this is probably going to be a bit different. I can go in there and just enjoy myself, and that's one thing I've probably approached through towards Spawn. Is just go and have fun. And I plan to do it in the fight. Just go and have fun. There's no pressure, no expectation. Just go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, after the Olympics, and obviously there was a controversial decision there. In the interview, you said you felt like you was going home almost like a loser. Like for you, how hard was it, A, getting over that loss there? And then B, like, has that helped you now further on in your career, kind of making that comeback and knowing you can come back and obviously go on to make these bigger goals?
Yeah, listen, that was my dream since I started boxing was to be Olympic champion. I was a favourite going into the damn games, and I believe I would have won them. But I still would have had two more hard fights to come up after that fight. So who knows what would have happened? But that's probably been the best thing that's happened in my career because it pushed me into like superstardom and a big name worldwide before I'd even for a professional punch, and probably helped me earn an awful lot of money. So yeah, that was if I could go back and change it, I wouldn't because that was meant to happen and it happened for a reason. And it showed me that even at your lowest point, you can come back much stronger.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to touch on that kind of like how much would you say kind of that infamous interview obviously helped you push on to stardom. Like how important for a boxer, obviously inside the ring performing, but also outside of the ring really growing your name. How important is that for up and coming fighters?
In the world nowadays we live in, that's massive. That's probably as big as your performances. You know what I mean? So, like the world of social media and the generation of now are obviously addicted to this and they want things instantly. So if you can build yourself outside of the ring, my God, it'll help you so much in the ring because once you grow that fan base and you have people wanting to watch you from all around the world, you can start demanding more money, more different things, which is always good, especially for fighters because people look at boxing and think everybody in boxing is making loads of money, but there's people there who aren't making any money. And if I was to turn pro, like a lot of guys I see turning pro these days, I wouldn't even bother. There's much easier ways in life to earn money because if you're earning 2 grand here or losing money trying to having to pay for opponents and sell tickets, that would be a nightmare. So my credit goes to them, um, and my you know sympathy, I suppose, goes to them as well because that's a hard place to be, and you got to give them credit for actually going through that and trying to reach their goal and doing whatever it takes. It's a very tough game and a very hard game to make money. I know kids there who have been losing money in boxing, and that's terrible to see because every time you step into that ring, you put your life on the line, and that's no joke. You know what I mean? People think it's just a sport. It's not a sport. It's life and death in there for a lot of guys.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, the boxing world continues to change, especially obviously since the Saudi investment. Now, for you seeing this, almost seeing the best fight, the best non-stop now, we are seeing the fights that we've always wanted. For you as a fighter coming back, does that almost make it not easy, but for you to reach this goal quicker almost? How are you seeing these matchups getting made a lot quicker than they maybe would in the past? Is this good for you?
Yeah, of course, it's good. I think it's good for boxing in general, not just me. I think everybody is benefiting off this. You see the likes of Josh Padley, who has been over last minute both times or late replacement both times, and he went over and put on performances both times, albeit lost against Shakur, but
Mm.
was in there for a long time against probably one of the future pound for pound stars. So you got to give Turkey and all those guys over in Saudi credit for being able to do this, and even when people lose, they're still giving them opportunities. So it's fantastic. It's great for boxing. I'm glad now that I suppose the Mayweather era of the O is gone, um, because people can lose and come back. It doesn't really matter. Um, and it seems so far anyway that he has the fighter's best interest at heart, and making sure they're well paid, because boxing, as I say, is a very hard game. So if you're not getting paid well, is there really a point? It's very, very tough, and it's a very small percentage that ever really make any money.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, yourself, you've headlined huge nights in Belfast, and I'm assuming you wanted to get back to that. Now, we've got a big fight week, obviously, with Crocker versus Donovan. Is there almost a prediction there for you? How do you see that one going? Obviously, a massive fight for the boxing itself.
It's a great fight. It's a great fight. Two great kids, two very talented kids. Lewis definitely punches harder.
Mm.
I know Paddy's record probably shows he does, but Lewis Crocker. I spoke to Adam Booth when he came over and trained with me for a while, and Booth says pound for pound the hardest puncher he's ever had on the pads. Bigger than David Hay, bigger than George Groves, bigger than Andy Lee. This guy can really, really punch. But Paddy is also a very slick boxer and can punch with both hands as well. So it's an interesting fight, a great clash of styles. I believe Lewis gets him late. I think he breaks him down and stops him late.
Okay. Now, obviously, like I wanted to speak, obviously, stablemate of yours, Dalton Smith, has recently been made mandatory for the WBC belt. Like, for you, how good is it seeing these people that you train? Obviously, Dalton, very similar to yourself, had that brilliant amateur background. Like, for you, how good is it to see this now really happening for him and another man seeing his dreams come true?
It's brilliant. I be in the gym every day with Dalton, watch him spar, and I love watching him spar because he is so complete as a fighter. Obviously, little tweaks and little things he needs to work on, but he's a great guy outside of the gym, a great human being, a good person. So it makes it all the better when you see someone like that succeeding. He has his head screwed on, his feet in the ground, and whoever's in front of him, he's beaten, and that's all you can ask. And I watch him in the gym, and I be like, wow, he's good. He's a special fighter.
Yeah, now last one. I just want to touch on like a man, when you think of Ireland, you probably think of Conor McGregor. Like you've walked out of him yourself, currently running for president. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I didn't know that. I don't keep up to date with any politics stuff. To
Yeah.
be honest, news and controversial stuff, I just stay away from.
I don't blame you, mate. Well, again, thank you for your time. I do really appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.